evening, everyone. The pleasure is mine to extend welcome to everyone this afternoon. The Premier and Minister of Finance, Education, District Administration and Lands, and Cabinet Office, Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly. The Minister of Tourism and Ports, Honorable Kenneth Bryan. The Minister for Border Control and Labor and Culture, Honorable Dwayne Seymour. Deputy Speaker, elected Member of Parliament and Parliamentary Secretary for Tourism and Social Development, Ms. Heather Bodden. Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Roy McTaggart, JP. Elected Member of Parliament, Ms. Barbara Connolly, JP. Elected Member of Parliament, Mr. Bernie Bush. Chief Officer for the Ministry of Education, Acting, Ms. Lynette Monteith. Deputy Chief Officer for the Ministry of Education, Acting, Mr. Jerome McCoy. Deputy Chief Officer for the Ministry of Education, Acting, Mr. Adrian Jones. HR Director for the Ministry of Education, Acting, Ms. Simone Lynch. Chief Financial Officer, Acting, Ms. Jane Mirage. Director for the Department of Education Services, Mr. Mark Ray. Senior School Improvement Officers, Mr. Nicholas Obi, Dr. Richard Wildman. Head of Business Services, Ms. Jenny Rivers. Representatives from Davenport, elected members of the PTA Executive, all members representing service clubs and associations, partner groups, members of the academic staff, Georgetown Primary School, members, PTA members, parents, families, friends, well-wishers, and all other stakeholders, good afternoon. What is in a name? Is a famous line used by Shakespeare in one of his plays, Romeo and Juliet. So I ask you today, what is in a name and why are we here? Today will mark a significant day in the Cayman Islands, specific to Georgetown Primary School. Georgetown is a landmark in this beautiful country that was founded upon the seas. The name Georgetown Primary School represents the great men and women who have given much to the growth and development of this beautiful country. Georgetown is the home to many beautiful places and historical sites within the Cayman Islands. The National Museum, Stepwell, Fort George, Siemens Memorial, Emsley Church, the library, Hero Square, the post office, the town hall, and of course, the Georgetown Primary School. So the name Georgetown Primary School within the town represents something significant. Today will forever be etched in history. It will be remembered not only as February 13 or the day before Valentine's Day, but as the day that the school was renamed. Georgetown, you will agree with me, is the hub, the capital, the central point. So, for a country to rename an institution within the town, it has to be something of great significance. Do you agree with me? So, what is in a name? What is in the name that we And usually you read about legends only in a book. But this afternoon we have one here in living colors. We talk about what is in a name. We talk about what is in a name. What is in a name? We talk about a warrior for education, an advocate for student welfare, a stalwart for ambition. Often she will say, you need to have ambition. An activist for respect, responsibility, and readiness. A radical for change. A militant for parent involvement. Each of us will read about today in the history books and will tell our children and great-grandchildren that we were a part of this beautiful experience. We will celebrate this great woman, one who represents every child and the hope of this great nation, one who shows that every child and every individual within this country can make a difference. A woman who came and saw and conquered and is still conquering. This day in history will represent a symbol of change, new development, new mission and vision and success for the school. What is in a name? A name has power and authority. It is on this note that we welcome you for being a part of history and for sharing this incredible experience with our school and by extension, our country. Welcome.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today with hearts filled with gratitude and reverence. We gather here to celebrate and honor the legacy of our past principal as we rename this school in her honor. We ask for your presence to be with us as we embark on this new chapter. We pray for the students who will walk through these gates, that they may be inspired by the dedication and leadership of their past principal. May they strive for excellence, kindness, and compassion in all that they do. We pray for the teachers and staff who will guide and shape the minds of future generations within these walls. Grant them wisdom, patience, and strength as they impart knowledge and mentor our students.
We pray for our government, the Department of Education, families and community members who support and nurture the growth of our students. May they find unity and encouragement as we come together in this celebration. Finally, we give thanks for the lives and impact of our past principal. May her selfless contribution and commitment continue to inspire us to be the best versions of ourselves and to make a positive difference in the lives of others. In your holy name, we pray. Amen.
Please permit me to add to the welcome the Minister for Youth, Sports and Heritage, Honorable Isaac Rankin, also the Minister for Health and Wellness and Home Affairs, Honorable Sabrina Turner. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Please stand for the singing of the national song.
Mr. Fisher, if you could start from the very top, that would be lovely.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's welcome our Minister of Tourism and Transport, the Honorable Kenneth Bryan, who will make his remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ooh, what a beautiful day today is. This is on instructions. I was supposed to make sure that it's there and settled before I get started, but I'm going to have to hold it up. And forgive me, Madam former member, Ms. Lucille. I think we're both going to have to go through that struggle. Just a few housekeepings before I give my remarks. I want to say that I want to recognize our former MP, Miss Lucille Seymour, and the former Speaker of the House. I know I saw her. Where is she? There she is, Miss Mary Lawrence. We're going to fix that protocol matter a little later on. But before I get started, I want to take this opportunity to just, if there's any students who were taught during the time of Miss Martin, can you just please stand up for me, please, if you're here? One more request. If you have a son, daughter, niece, nephew that went to school under Miss Martin, please stand up. Thank you so much. You know, if we had done this during school, it would have not been able to hold everybody in here. So I'm kind of glad we did it on the break so we can generally recognize those who were impacted by your life, Ms. Martin. With protocol already being established, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a great day it is here in the Cayman Islands, particularly for us Georgetowners and Cayman Brackers in the education fraternity. And I am happy to say that I'm both. It is with great pride that we gather here today to rename this esteemed institution, which will soon formally be known as the Georgetown Primary School, in tribute to a true hero of education in our beloved country. For decades, Ms. Sharon Marie Martin has dedicated her life to shaping the minds and the futures of generations of Caymanian children. Her unwavering commitment, her tireless efforts, and her passion for education have left a mark, an indelible mark, on countless of lives, from students to parents to teachers to even ministers in government that have overseen this school's administration over the years. And as we stand here today, we not only honor her exceptional service as a former principal, but also her broader contributions to the field of education. You see, since joining the school in 1983, Ms. Marie Martin has been a beacon of inspiration for every child she came in contact with. Throughout her tenure, she has been more than just an educator. She had been a mentor, a role model, a source of unwavering support for every child who has had the privilege of calling this school their own. Now, when I think back about my time at Georgetown Primary in the early 80s, I still have fond memories of Miss Marie Martin. Matter of fact, I'm going to share a little story. I had to do this one, Miss Martin. For the students who are here, anybody remember the AC unit? After running around at lunchtime and you're sweating and you couldn't go out to class with your back wet? If you remember, put your hand up, just let me see if anybody remembers that. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what used to happen is we would run around, and I was a crazy kid, and I would sweat a lot, like most other children. And the only way we could get the back patch that was wet gone is you used to stand by the AC unit for about 30 seconds to a minute, and it was kind of like blow dry your clothes. You remember Miss Martin? And she would come around the corner, because the AC unit used to be along the long stretch here, and she would come around the corner and she says, because we're late for class, so she says, Mr. Brian, I didn't know we started teaching class outside. Get to class. And it's memories like that that I will never forget. She was easily one of my favorite teachers because She was patient and understanding with the right amount of discipline. She understood to be a good teacher, you not only had to teach or correct behavior, but also had to show love. And trust me, she loved every single one of her students the same, as if to say every single one was her favorite. I truly remember how much trouble I used to give her, and she still loved me all the same. Her way of getting me to behave was to show me how much she did love me. And it helped me to be good because I didn't want to disappoint her. Because for me, she became a parent and a source of love. Under her guidance, countless of other students have not only excelled academically, but also grown up to be doctors, lawyers, business owners, tradesmen and women, athletes, artists, singers, and yes, even some of them became politicians. And I'm sure that I speak for all of us here in saying how much we appreciate the confidence and the knowledge that she has instilled in us, as well as the values of integrity, perseverance, and empathy that continues to serve us well in our personal and professional lives today. Renaming this school in the honor of Miss Marie Martin is fitting. It is truly a fitting tribute to her enduring legacy that she created. It is a testament to her dedication, her perseverance, and her unwavering belief in the power of education to transform lives and uplift communities. I know that if I had asked every single Georgetowner, who do you think this school should be named after, I'm certain that 100% of them would say Miss Marie Martin. Because you can't think about Georgetown Primary without thinking about her. Her name is synonymous with this school. But even so, getting her to agree was a challenge. Because the humble person that she is, she doesn't like the spotlight. She's truly an angel and just does it because it needs to be done. And that's why it's so momentous today that she accepted. I'm glad that the wishes of the community had prevailed on your heart, Ms. Martin. As we gather here today to unveil this new institution, the new name of this institution, we are proudly honoring the exemplary legacy of our beloved former principal. A legacy that not only encompasses the profound impact that she has had on all who pass through the halls of this school, but one that is also serves as a source of inspiration for future generation of educators and learners. Notwithstanding the 40 years of outstanding service Ms. Martin has given to the children and the people of the Cayman Islands, she continues in her retirement. And I don't know how she does it. I gotta share this one, sorry, I'm taking up a little bit more time. But I had to clean up the other day. And I sent it out on social media, anybody who wants to show up to come and help us clean up. And when we got there, we're like, everybody there at 6:45. By the time I got there with my committee, she was already there with 9 bags full of garbage, her and some other kids. And I was like, Ms. Martin, you're showing me up. Let me see if I can collect some garbage quickly. This is how committed she is, even in her retirement. Ensuring to keep kids on track, not only in education, but ensuring and supporting their ambitions in any way that she can. And please allow me to take this opportunity before I forget, because this is not about governments. The opposition is also in support of the renaming of this school after Ms. Martin. And everybody from the opposition would like to congratulate you, Ms. Martin, for your support. Ms. Martin, as your former student, I offer you my heartfelt gratitude and deepest respect. May this school forever stand as a testament to your extraordinary contributions to education in the Cayman Islands. Thank you for all that you have done for us and continue to do for the Caymanian children. May God bless and keep you forever. Thank you.
We will now welcome Ms. Lucille Seymour to the stage to make her remarks.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, for reminding us of what's in name. My esteemed student, Harry Martin, ladies and gentlemen, including the Honorable Tamara and her lovely entourage that have put this together. This is very touching. The age I am, most times you are 6 feet deep, surrounded by cement and heavy casket, so you can't hear what anybody has to say about you. But today is the day. But I declare an interest in this. I declare an interest because I was her teacher. I declare an interest because I was her education officer. I declare an interest because I'm her friend. I declare an interest because I'm a mentor. I declare an interest because she's just like me. My dear friend, when you get the age that I am, and you look back on the people that you have taught, and you see them ascending and ascending and ascending and ascending until the whole world is named after them, you say to yourself, I have done well. But that is exactly how my teachers were too. So when I became a teacher, I decided that I was going to make a difference. Because teachers not only save lives, they make life. And that is true. A doctor saves your life, you might die. And look at a teacher. Whatever a principal or a teacher impact on you, it stays with you for the rest of your life. And today it's an honor to me. Someone from the education ministry, know how much I like to talk, said to me, you must be brief. So I went home and I decided to write 10 pages. And then I decided to put it in Grammarly to see whether it'd be 3 minutes or not. So I cut it down to 3 pages. And this is what I said. Today is significant as we officially change Georgetown Primary School's name to the Sharon Marie Martin Primary Primary School. This change is a tribute to a remarkable woman whose life exemplified the core values of our school community. Sharon Marie Martin was known for her compassion, care, selflessness, exceptional memory, and unwavering dedication to enriching the lives of those around her. Today, as we gather, we reflect on Marie's profound impact on our community and school. Marie was a true philanthropist, actively participating events that promoted unity and altruism, leaving a lasting mark of peace and rationality in our minds. Renaming the school in her honor is a fitting acknowledgement of her tireless efforts to enhance education in the Cayman Islands. The Sharon Marie Martin Primary School is a permanent testament to her invaluable contribution, shaping the future of education and community welfare for generations. Her legacy will guide students, educators, and citizens alike, inspiring them to embody the same spirit of selflessness and commitment to uplifting others. As we commemorate this historic day, let us recall Marie's enduring legacy and the positive changes she brought to the school and its surroundings. It's an honor to share my thoughts at the official renaming ceremony, celebrating the legacy of my former student, Sharon Marie Martin, and her profound influence on the school and community. During her tenure as principal, Marie fostered a sense of community within the school, emphasizing inclusivity and belonging. Her relentless efforts to engage various stakeholders, including former students, educators, policymakers, and community members in supporting the school's initiatives, showcased her unparalleled dedication and leadership. Her involvement in community events, especially in promoting sports and the arts, underscore her deep commitment to enhancing the community's well-being. In conclusion, this remaining ceremony symbolizes pride for the community, ensuring that Marie's legacy inspires future generations. The Sharon Marie Martin Primary School will stand as a reminder of her indelible mark on education and community welfare, resonating for years to come. I am deeply honored to be part of this event and to pay tribute to the memory of my esteemed student, Ms. Sharon Marie Martin, who embodied the ethos of her beloved school.
Have a musical selection by our award-winning school choir entitled "Conk Ain't Got No Roll."
I don't Miss Sharon Marie Martin, one of Cayman Islands' educational stalwarts. The acronym I will read to a T describes Miss Marie Martin. M for being a mother to many. A for being a high achiever. R for being a role model. I for having an interesting personality. E for being an educator extraordinaire. M for being a missionary for student welfare. A for always going the extra mile. R for being a remarkable principal. T for being a transformer. I for being involved in the lives of her children. And N for being a natural leader. The renowned Joe Batten once stated, "In the absence of vision, there can be no clear and consistent focus. In the absence of a dream, there can be no reward of hope. In the absence of a philosophy, there is no real meaning to work and life." It is upon this premise that Sharon Marie Martin, dedicated educator, gave generously, faithfully, sacrificially, and unreservedly 39 glorious years of her life. Time, expertise, energy, and financial resources to make an indelible mark in the lives of thousands of individuals, a difference in the quality of life in her community and her country, the Cayman Islands. Sharon Marie Martin, affectionately known as Marie Martin, hails from Cayman Brac. She was determined to bloom where the soil seemed more prolific, so she relocated to Grand Cayman, where she spent the better part of her life and career. From a young age, Marie Martin had a passion for working with people, showing care and consideration. Such passion propelled her into the teaching profession. Upon her graduation from Erdington Teachers College in Barbados in 1978, she was employed in the capacity of a primary school teacher at the Spot Bay Primary School in Cayman Brac. During her tenure at this institution, she was highly recognized for her passion and dedication to the teaching profession. Fate would have it that in 1983, she was transferred to Georgetown Primary School in Grand Cayman. Full of life and commitment to her role as an educator, she was noted for her high level of teaching skills and her drive in ensuring that every child received a proper education. She was known for a sharp memory, which enabled her to know the names of all her students and their parents. She was a staunch advocate for students' attendance and would personally seek out those who were absent for extended periods of time. For such involvement in the lives of her children, she was echoed as a distinguished principal. Marie Martin's dedication to the educational advancement of her students has earned her the love and admiration of many past and present students. She values the many pictures taken over the years, which serve as a memory of her commitment to each child. In an effort to transform the lives of students, enabling them to become productive citizens with a purpose, and while being a full-time classroom teacher, she took the bold step and gained an additional qualification, which enabled her to become a literacy specialist teacher. In order to further sharpen her skills, in 1995, she graduated from the University of Newcastle upon Tyne in England with a master's degree in education. Such academic achievement speaks volumes to her belief in lifelong learning and an ongoing professional development. During her tenure as a leader, she participated in numerous training sessions and seminars which further enhanced her capacity to teach and lead. She was a strong and powerful leader, not an easy pushover. Marie Martin dedicated her entire life and energy to education, specifically Georgetown Primary School. Her whole life was centered on the school and her children. Her devotion to service enabled her to develop and support a myriad of programs which sought to benefit the students holistically. She was noted for her commitment to family counseling, social assistance, students' health and welfare services. The name Marie Martin quickly became a household name in the Cayman Islands. She is widely known and has taught or impacted the life of at least one child in almost every household in Georgetown. Her outstanding record of attendance and punctuality is remarkable in that she has never taken a sick day in her entire 39 years of service. Marie Martin was also admired for her passion in the arts. It was this niche that led her to seek sponsorship in collaboration with the PTA, teachers, parents, students, community donors, and the Ministry of Education to create a performing arts center at Georgetown Primary School. She was able to see this dream become a reality before her retirement. Well done, Ms. Martin. She is fondly remembered for supporting and transporting children to the many weekdays and weekend activities. Her unwavering commitment has led to the school receiving numerous medals in the National Children's Festival of the Arts, sporting events, spelling bees, and essay competitions. Such performances have made the staff, parents, and students extremely proud over the years. Marie Martin can truly be dubbed a hero, and rightly so. After the impact of Ivan, the school faced several challenges, which included massive structural damage. As a leader, she was not daunted by the circumstances around her. With resilience, cheer, and vision, she was able to mobilize her team at different locations and continue on the path of success. Principal Marie Martin was also highlighted for working with a group of prisoners side by side in the heat to unload a full container of supplies in preparation for the start of a school year. Such was and still is the tenacity and power of this woman. Explaining her dedication to a reporter, she commented, "I found my purpose in life, therefore the passion followed," which always makes a big difference in someone's career. While having no biological children, Marie Martin has been a mother figure to all the children who know her, as well as the wider community. One of her encouraging sayings to the children, "Come on now, walk like you're going somewhere." Georgetown Primary will remember her for her unique walk, her love for cheese and carrot cake. She will be remembered at the school entrance, where she greeted her children and inquired how they were doing and what were their plans for the day. A child could never pass her without a proper greeting. Miss Martin was highly respected among the staff and students at the Georgetown Primary School. She always found the time to commend and highlight her staff on their performance, whether as a group or individually. The teachers could always look forward to spot prizes, especially the cash ones. Teachers who worked late were often treated to dinner from one of the local restaurants as a token of the appreciation of the effort she saw. She is loved by many for being open, honest, and frank. She was highly respected by the Ministry of Education, which has taken keen note of her drive and passion for education. Such admiration extends at all levels and departments. Marie Martin was never one to blow her own trumpet. In fact, she was always being quite humble in her approach and responses to the work she continued to do. However, her commitment to nation building has not gone unnoticed. She has been the recipient of several prestigious and coveted awards, all of which she accepted with humility. She has gained the Queen's Certificate and Badge of Honor, the Chamber of Commerce's first Golden Apple, the Distinguished Woman Award with the Ministry responsible for Gender Affairs, the Business and Professional Women's Club's Woman of the Year recognition, the Cayman Islands Certificate and Badge of Honor, as well as awards from various sporting clubs. None of these awards speaks volume like the joy she experiences when one of her children does well. She is known to follow them all the way to university and beyond. That was and still remains her greatest gift. She is an ardent believer in hard work and a good role model for excellence, leadership, dedication, and determination. In 2017, Ms. Marie Martin declared her final decision to retire due to health-related issues. While retiring as a principal, she made it unequivocally clear that this is not the end. She will continue to work in another capacity with other children, seeking to guide them on the right path to making better life choices, especially as these relate to education. Her contribution to nation building is priceless. May her work and worth remain indelible in the hearts of the many lives she has molded and influenced over the years. Georgetown Primary School will definitely miss her, but we will treasure the memories she shared with us. Her legacy will live for generations to come. Georgetown Primary School is indebted to her for the years she has given to this nation. The Cayman Islands is a better place because of her unselfish, unwavering, and committed service. We thank you for giving to the Lord, Ms. Martin.
Thank you, and please be seated. There is a saying in life that one may not remember what someone said or what someone did, but you will always remember how someone made you feel. This truly is an occasion, and I thank you all. The people that I see that have taken the time out to be here this afternoon speaks volumes. Thank you all. Everyone would have been warmly welcomed, quite ably, by everyone. But let me just acknowledge the presence of my fellow Rotarians. Welcome, parents, ministers, everybody here this afternoon. To say that I am humbled and honored is the understatement of the century. Somewhere along the way, I had an inkling through the years that I was somewhat special. But what I see here today, what I'm hearing, I was not prepared for, I'll tell you. Thank you all. To the Premier, the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly, and her cabinet, I extend a wholehearted thank you for bestowing such an honor upon me. To all who have been a part of my journey, and there are far too many to name, but I wish to genuinely thank you all. However, there are some that I simply must highlight. Miss Marjorie E. Banks came to the Cayman Brac High School in 1972, and I was a student there. And there was something special about her. There were three of us, Mona Ramjeet and Ellen Sue Tibbetts, who is in attendance today. We followed her around, and she even had us named her little disciples. When she drove in the morning, we would rush to greet her to see who would get to carry her bag. She had such a profound impact upon our lives that, needless to say, the three of us all went into the teaching career. And the two of them, up until today, they're still teaching. And at 14 years old, when Miss Ebanks said to me, "Marie, you are college material," that did it for me. I thank you. My other role model and mentor is Miss Lucille Seymour. Having worked at Weston Primary, she saw the potential in me. She saw that I could go much further, that the Weston Primary School was far too small for me, so I needed to spread my wings, grow and develop into potential that she knew was there. Miss Lucille Seymour was the education officer at the time, so she transferred me to the Georgetown Primary, allowing me to blossom, and the rest is history. My other mentor was Andrea Bryan, who is unavoidably absent. But she too saw the potential in me when she was the chief education officer, and saw that I was able to move from a regular classroom teacher without being a deputy and move straight into the principal's role. And I thank her for that. And up until this point, I trust I haven't disappointed my role models. Along the way, there were many supportive businesses that supported the work of the school, but some were truly outstanding. The late Bigger Rankin from Paramount Group, he bought Georgetown Primary School the very first school bus to take our children where they had to go. Also, Mr. Woody from the Foster's Group, over and over, so many times I have approached that man about a donation, and not once did he say, "Sorry, we can't do it." And he sent his apologies. Unfortunately, it's midterm, and he left the island yesterday, so sorry. He's on a family vacation. Last but by no means least, Paul Pearson and Ken Thompson from Davenport. This lovely performing arts center is due wholeheartedly to their efforts and their commitment, Paul and Ken. And let me just say that I honestly don't think they received the recognition they should have when this place was open, unless I didn't get the memo. I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyway, once again, we thank you all for supporting Georgetown Primary School. I would have to single out our supportive PTA presidents. Over the years, there have been many presidents and members who embraced the school and contributed greatly, some of whom are here this afternoon. Zimri Thompson, Chastine Rankin, Carla Bodden, Lizette Howell, Charmaine Robinson, Magdalene Robinson, Shayanna Stewart, and Clinton Ebanks. I must thank our supportive colleagues, because this accomplishment, how well Georgetown Primary has done over the years, it was not a one-man show. It was a team of teachers and workers that put in great work and effort to make this the success it was. Outstanding. Outstanding in their contributions were Ms. Layler, Ms. Law, Ms. Hardware, Mr. Parker, from way back when. And in more recent years, because remember I started in 1983, in more recent years, we have Ms. Swaby, Ms. Chow, Ms. Trista, Ms. Chanel, few more. Miss Fair, how could I forget? Oh, you see, when you start calling names, you get in trouble. All of them. Miss Anderson. Woo. And of course, my deputy principal, who I called to the stage, Miss Dorothy Wilson. We worked together for 31 years. Deputy principal and principal. Imagine, both Caymanians. And from the Bra. As mentioned earlier, during my 39 years, I never took a sick day. I never knew what it felt like to wake up in the morning and said, I don't want to go to school. I mean, how does that feel? And I've often remarked to teachers, if that should happen to you on any morning, please do yourself a favor and stay home. Don't do the students an injustice by coming when you didn't want. I had opportunities to advance my career through promotions to the department and to the ministry. These, of course, would have brought more lucrative income opportunities and prestige, but I chose to stay with my children. People have said on a number of occasions to me, Ms. Martin, why don't you get a life? Well, my answer to them is always the same. I've got so many, I can give you one or two. I did what was necessary and did it from the heart. It was never about reward, financial or otherwise. Every student that entered my life was treated as an individual, and we endeavored to ensure that the individual needs were met. And I am so touched this afternoon to see students from my class of 1986, Melody Mullins and one of the Erskines, Carla, I can't remember. Thank you all for being here. Over the years, there were many memories forged, and I always said I should have recorded some of these, keep a collection. However, I never did, but a few remain in my memory. The first one being when Mr. Benson Ebanks was the then Minister of Education. He came into my room to visit, walking around, touring schools. He came in and this little boy, 6 years old, sitting lowly in his seat, looked up and said, "Are you a giant?" And another one. This little boy, it's always the boys, in my class, he was a handful, as most boys are, mischievous, and by some standards, some people would even say he was bad. But he was a lovable child, quite likable. So I met with the mom to share with her an update on his progress, telling her what a likable little boy he is. And she looked at me and said, "Yes, Miss Martin, he only needs someone to love him." Okay. Okay. American family relocated to the Cayman Islands because the father was enrolled at St. Matthew's University and their daughter attended here. So one day at lunchtime, we're sitting on the bench, my famous bench, and we're talking. So the little girl says to me, Miss Martin, do you have any little girls? And I said, no. Do you have any little boys? I said, no. And she looked quite puzzled. Not even a grandchild? Out of the mouths of babes. And my very last one, this was in 2017, the year that I retired. It was in the month of April. Very historic, I've got to remember that. Walking in the back of the hall to the year 1 class, and this little 5-year-old is walking towards me. And when he reaches me, he looks up and says, Miss Martin, why are you walking like a penguin? And indeed, the penguin conversation was the final deciding factor in taking my retirement. This was in April, and thank God my mortgage had been paid off in February. So I put pen to paper, and that letter got written that very same week to Miss Monteith, saying that I'm ready now to retire. And now that I have retired, almost 7 years, I had someone insult me just recently and said, someone that doesn't know me very well, said, Miss Martin, what do you find to do with yourself these days? That one hit hard. And I really wanted to say, but I controlled myself. I really wanted to say to him, well, if you don't know, you don't need to know. But I controlled it. And I said, sir, I'll invite you to join me on any typical day to see what I do, to see firsthand the work that I am doing. And needless to say, he did not take me up on that offer. Okay? On an even lighter note, I must mention that this occasion has caused some damage, unfortunately. I received 4 texts from some parents. The first one reads, Ms. Martin, I hear you're sick. Is it really true? Okay. The next one said, Ms. Martin, I hear you are dying. And the other one said, Ms. Martin, I hear you don't have much time left. And I thought to myself, woohoo, some serious business here. Anyway, just in case anyone in this audience, it may have crossed their mind that Miss Martin isn't doing well, but thank God this is the best I've ever done. And I can tell you that God hasn't finished with me yet. I'm still doing His work. So He isn't going to call me yet. Anyway, the last one then was a phone call. Miss Martin, you name Sharon? And Miss Martin, if they're going to name the school, it's only you I could think that it would be Marie Martin. So, cabinet ministers, please, I think it needs a little tweaking. Okay? Yeah. Okay? This reminds me of the Johnny Cash song, A Boy Named Sue. A school named Sharon? I side of things. I thank my supportive family and friends, colleagues, the people of Georgetown for adopting me, the parents, the students of Georgetown Primary School for allowing me to have such a fulfilling career. It would be unforgivable of me not to mention my godly mother of blessed memory, who instilled the values in me that allowed me to grow into the person that I am. I thank God for not only strategically directing my steps, but for orchestrating everything in my life. Thank you, and God bless. Thank you all. Pardon? Oh, yes. I noticed that different things were mentioned. Please be seated. Now, I consulted with Toastmasters online, and they said a speech of this nature should only last 5 minutes. So I trust no one will leave here regretting having attended. So I'm going to share one last one, and that's with Mr. Isaac. Now, nobody mentioned about the cultural side of Georgetown Primary School. We focused heavily on culture, and so much so until this day, for an item at the Harquail that the students performed, Honorable Isaac Rankin still calls me the bus man. And that's because our student in 1987 performed the bus man. Thank you. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Strandbaden, Chief Officer. I see him on the outside looking in, so could someone please invite him in. He too is along with Darrell Dakers and someone else, I think, was from my class in Kimmanbrack in 1982. Thank you.
The musical taste buds will further be teased by our school choir. Please welcome them.
It is my pleasure to welcome the Premier and Minister for Finance, Education, District Administration, the Lands and Cabinet Office, the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly.
Good afternoon. In case you wanted to find out what I just told Marie was that I'm starting to walk like a penguin now too. Putting that aside, protocol have already been duly established, so I won't go through that litany of acknowledgements, just to say welcome and thank you for helping to make this a very most accelerating time for Marie. She's a very humble person, but I'm sure that your presence here truly have touched her tremendously. As I sat there and I wondered what else could be said about Marie. You know, it's been articulated, it's been elucidated, it's been said most generally and from the heart. And the best part about it is that she's here with us to hear it. It's not an obituary. And as I sat there, I thought the number 3, and I took a while. You probably saw some perplexing looks in my face if you look at the video when you get home, or even when you were looking, I'm like, 3. Marie and I haven't had enough conversation. We've had conversations, obviously, many over the years, but nothing about the number 3, and I got to thinking. And then I remembered that I had read in my preparation for my prepared speech that she was born on the 27th of March. And it quickly occurred to me that I was born on the 30th of March, 3 days after you, Marie. And then I started to think a little bit deeper. And she was born in 1958, and I was born in 1961. I see some of you shaking your head, you passed math, I take it. That's some 3 years after Marie was born. And then as she came to the stage and started speaking, I was quickly reminded that she had the privilege and the opportunity to teach our beloved children And as teachers who have a calling, we don't call them students, we call them children. And she taught at 3 of our government primary schools, Spot Bay, Weston, and then finally at Georgetown Primary School. And as she continued to talk, I'm sure she might have had more mentors, but she chose to mention 3 of them, Miss Ebanks, Miss Lucille, and my cousin Andrew. And I thought, this is getting a little bit awkward. Because when the thought Marie came through in my mind, I can tell you none of this was there. And I kept thinking a little bit more. And then she said that she had been teaching, I believe if I was listening correctly, 31 years with Miss Dorothy. So there are 3 featured again. And when you read her bio, she was principal here for 23 years. So Marie, that tree is tagging you. And I wondered about the family tree. I didn't know Marie was going to talk about Miss Garris, but I sat there and I thought, how could I get up and talk about Miss Marie without remembering Miss Garris? Because we both went to her Sunday school class at what is known as the Baptist Church, the Creek Baptist Church, for many, many years, where Miss Lauren took me to Wholeness, Marie. And if you did not know Miss Garris, you're looking at her prodigy right there with Miss Marie. Pious, humble, caring, compassionate, generous, family-centered, not afraid to speak her mind, could be humorous when she wanted, loud sharing the knowledge that she had, knowing that this world is not our home, we're just a passing through, and if there's anything that we can do, or any legacy that we can enjoy or bestow upon others as the positive beneficiaries and recipients, is to share that knowledge. And certainly Ms. Garris did that, not just in word and deed, but also in the exemplary life that she lived. And I think that, Marie, that she would be so very proud of you this afternoon. And although Marie didn't say, having grown up right there in Washington Place and shared many things, we went to school, and then I saw where you graduated, I believe, memory serves me right, back in '76 from Kimmonbrook High School, and I left there in '79, 3 years after that. So there's some connectivity, and not the TRE, but the THREE, Marie, between us. And I wondered what made Marie so different, that tree just was so conspicuous as you tried to remember her and try to just share with you who the real woman is. And then I remembered, Honorable Minister, that her sister, I know you as Evelia, even though a lot of people call you Lorna, she had written and orally communicated to me several years back that she thought it was high time that her sister Marie, that this school should be named after her. And I agreed with her, just as I did with Kenneth when he came to me just a couple of weeks ago. I agreed, because who else should the school be named after except this wonderful cousin, friend, Emma Barker, and fellow educator. And I happened to see Marie walking along the way. If I remember, I was close to the JB, and I asked her, and she said no, she didn't think so. And that's the humility that comes from Marie. And even when my colleague, Honorable Minister of Tourism, approached her, I'm reliably informed that on the first approach, almost like came on airways in November last week, it had to be aborted. She said no, she did not want it. But being Kenneth, the persistent colleague that he is, he went again. And he used some persuasive, sentimental language, I'm told, and reminded her that he was a product of Georgetown Primary School. And which teacher wouldn't respond to that when one of the children that you helped to transform to become the success that he is today made that approach. So once didn't work, 2 times didn't work, but 3 times the love came. And as we were planning when to do this, it's a busy week with agriculture and so many other things going on. But we thought that we were going to squeeze it in the day before Valentine's, because We could have done it tomorrow, but you know, agriculture is perhaps one of our biggest events in Cayman, and Marie should not have to share the stage with anyone else. And so today is your day, Marie. And we are extremely, extremely honored, not only as a water placer, a woman educator myself, a Cayman Bracker, but a Christian, because as I try to bring this threesome to some conclusion, I realized that the tree that made the most significance and transformative change in Marie's life was the introduction of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit in the Trinity. And that is what I believe has attributed more than anything else to the person you find in Marie, the person as a sibling, as a friend, as a disciplinarian, as a leader in her own right, but yet a very humble person. Truly, Marie has displayed at all material times that she is a servant leader. Now, the one thing that I also have in common with Marie is that I love Andy Martin music. She probably loves it a little bit better than me because of the family connection. But not only did I'm also realizing, Marie, and I'm becoming even more cognizant of that penguin walk when I look at videos after functions. But I started to pull out and dust off. I'm packing up my bags and I'm going back to the back again. And so, Marie, I know you have a great love for Georgetown. I know that you have many, many lives that you've changed and many, many functions more to go with Rotary as you continue to help your community. But I would make this plea today, a very selfish plea. Take some time to come back to the BRAC a little bit more, because your role model is greatly needed, and your assistance from your experience that you've gained here on our little rock called Cayman Brack and Watching Place. And it will be a different tree, perhaps a T-R-E-E, but find some time to get a hammock and put between two. God bless you.
Our Acting Chief Officer, Minister of Education, Mrs. Lynette Monteith, will now move the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to do the vote of thanks, but I must tell you, as I stand here and look there, you should see yourselves. It is really an honor for me to deliver the vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. So on behalf of the Ministry of Education, I warmly thank everyone who was instrumental in making today's ceremony a resounding success. Firstly, I must express my profound gratitude to the Honorable Kenneth Bryan for championing the idea of honoring Miss Sharon Marie Martin's rich legacy in this manner. Furthermore, I sincerely appreciate the relentless efforts of the Premier, the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Connolly, in driving this process forward. Additionally, I thank both the Premier and the Minister for their congratulatory remarks this afternoon, which reflect their unwavering commitment to this vital cause. I would also like to thank Ms. Martin for graciously accepting the symbol of our appreciation for your contribution to education here in the Cayman Islands. Thank you also to Mrs. Sharon Campbell Danvers, principal of the newly named Sharon Marie Martin Primary School, and Anna Tweakin and her staff for their significant contribution towards the planning of this event. Thank you to Ms. Lucille Seymour for her encouragement, and congratulations to Ms. Martin on this momentous occasion. Thank you to the Department of Education Services, especially Facilities Manager Mr. Alan Robinson and his team for providing technical support to my team at the Ministry of Education. And I must single out our able Communications Manager, Stacey Anderson, for organizing this event. Additionally, I would like to thank Ms. Casey Swaby for her introduction of our esteemed guest of honor, and music teacher, Mr. Ranil Reed, for leading the singing of the national song. And I'm sure that you will join me in thanking all the amazing students who participated in this event. MCs Thierry Simpson and Tian Bush for so ably and impressively leading the afternoon's proceedings. Harry Evans and Tiana Wright for invoking God's presence, and the members of the school's choir for making the event even more memorable with your beautiful renditions of Conk Ain't Got No Bone and Muncie Boat. Thanks to all of you, our esteemed guests, for gracing us with your presence this afternoon. Your presence has served to make this occasion even more meaningful. Thank you all again, and I look forward to your continued support as we honor even more fellow Caymanians for their outstanding service to our nation. May God bless you.